Hello? Can you hear me? A man's voice cracks through, dry, tired, stretched thin. This is Rob. I'm in Las Vegas. I tell him I hear him. I ask what's happening. There's a light on the strip that shouldn't be there, he says. And I don't mean the hotels. Those are mostly dead. Mirage is dark. Caesars is half lit like a busted Christmas tree. The sphere's glitching so bad it looks like a broken planet rolling on its side. He takes a slow breath. But there's this other light. It's hovering. You can see it miles away. Everybody can. It's not a drone. It's not a plane. It doesn't move like that. It just hangs a little above the old monorail line. White in the middle, edges kind of flickering blue. If you stare at it too long, your eyes hurt. I sit up straighter. How long has it been there? 2 hours, he says. Right around when the casinos went black all at once. The backup generators for these places, man, they're monsters. They don't die easy. But tonight they did. Every giant generator in every mega resort flicked on, then off, like someone unplugged the whole city from the wrong side. Behind him I hear something, wind. No, it's people. People shouting. Rob, I say, are you safe where you are? I'm in my truck, he says, parked near the Orleans, engines running, mostly. It keeps coughing like it's trying to stall. The dashboard lights keep flickering between warnings that don't match. Battery low, battery full, traction control error, collision alert when there's no one in front of me. He laughs, short, shaky. Feels like the truck's arguing with itself. A woman's voice yells in the background, something about the sky moving. Rob exhales. Look, I need to tell you what happened about 40 minutes ago. I wait. There were these loud pops coming from the strip. Not gunshots, not fireworks, like power transformers blowing but sharper. Every time one erupted, that hovering light pulsed brighter, like it reacted. Reacted how? I ask. Like it was breathing with the grid, he says. When a transformer blew, the light throbbed in sync. People around me started screaming that it was feeding on the power. And I swear, God help me, I swear the streetlights flickered in rhythm with it. He's breathing faster now. Then, he says, these hotel keycards started freaking out. People were waving them at doors, just trying to get inside anywhere with walls. And the doors kept unlocking and locking on their own. No pattern. Some guy slammed his card into a slot reader at Planet Hollywood, and the whole door system rebooted. Red lights turning green, then blue. Then everything dead. And the casinos? I ask. Silent, he says. Slot machines frozen mid-spin like statues. Roulette wheels stuck with the ball hovering right on the edge between two numbers. You ever seen a whole casino go dead silent? No music, no coins, no commercials, no tourists yelling? It's wrong. He swallows, the sound hitting the mic. There's one more thing, he says. The hum. I close my eyes. There it is again. Everyone tonight is hearing some version of it. What does it sound like? I ask. Like the city's holding its breath but trying not to, he says. Low, constant. You don't hear it, you feel it. It's in the steering wheel, in your ribs, in the street, even the lights that are still on. They buzz with it. I ask him what people are doing now. Running, he says. Walking fast. Gathering in little groups. Cops tried to set up barricades, but their radios kept spitting out distortion. I saw one officer tap his radio against the hood of his car and yell, "Stop lying to me," like he thought the radio itself was playing tricks. Sirens wail faintly behind him, cut off mid-scream. "And the hovering light?" I ask. "It's bigger now," he whispers. "I think it's closer. It keeps fading in and out like it's stuck between here and somewhere else." Another voice in the background. "It's splitting. Look. It's splitting." Rob's voice trembles. "I have to go, man. People are running my way. Something's happening to the sky. The line detonates into a burst of harsh static. The board blinks. The channel dies. I sit still for a long second, feeling my pulse in my teeth. The sky splitting. Lights hovering. Machines acting like they're confused. Cities losing their memory of how to run themselves. Something is threading through every place that calls in. Something with a pattern. Something using our own systems as a mouthpiece. The clock reads 5:37 a.m. I don't trust it, but I trust the darkness more than the numbers. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding and lean into the mic again. To anyone in Vegas, I say, get indoors if you can. Stay away from anything that hums. If the sky looks wrong, don't stare at it. And if you see lights that don't act like lights, don't go toward them. The board is blinking again, nonstop. One call from a hospital landline, one from a desert town, one from a farmhouse in Kansas, one from a boat off the coast of Maine, one from a school gym being used as a shelter in Tennessee. This world is tearing at the seams, and every voice is holding on to a thread. I'm not going anywhere. Not until the tower fails. Not until the dark wins. Not until silence takes the mic out of my hands. We go again. Line 4, area code 615, Tennessee. You're on the air. Yeah, I'm here. This is Luis. His voice is uneven, like he's talking while crouched or catching his breath. I'm in Little Havana, or what's left of it. I tell him I hear him. I ask what he sees. It started with the humidity, he says. Not the normal Miami kind. This was heavy, like the air was full of static. My hair kept sticking to my forehead. Everyone's phones buzzed at once around 9. Same alert. A typical tide event. Move to higher ground. But no one believed it. We've had a dozen fake flood alerts this year. People joke about it now. Then my power went out, came back, went out again. The streetlights flickered like someone was shaking the poles. I hear him shift, fabric brushing, like he's leaning against something metal. I went outside, he says. Everyone was on their porch. We could hear something. Not water, not thunder. Almost like a low hum. The kind you feel in your chest before you hear it in your ears. My neighbor's dog started growling at the sidewalk, like something was under it. He takes a shaky breath. When the surge came, it wasn't a wave, he says. It was a rise. Slow. Wrong. Like the water didn't know it was supposed to spill. It crawled up the storm drains first, thin streams. Then it all came up at once. The streets were ankle deep in maybe a minute. Then knee deep. People were shouting. Cars stalled where they sat. I ask him where he is now. I'm on the roof of my building, he says. 5 floors up. The water has stopped rising for now, but the street's a lake. Light poles flickering under the surface. I can see flashes down there, little sparks. Not lightning. Like something's shorting out underwater. He shifts again. And the worst part? He whispers. The entire time, my phone kept buzzing with alerts that didn't match what I was seeing. Tide normal. No flood in your area. As the water was touching car windshields, my screen said everything was safe. I asked him if emergency services came. They tried, he says. Or maybe they didn't. Hard to know. Sirens sounded far away. Then they just stopped. We saw one rescue boat trying to push through the current. The engine died. 5 guys were inside. They were yelling at each other, trying to restart it. Then they drifted into a streetlight that was half underwater. One touch and sparks shot up like fireworks. They jumped out and swam for the nearest balcony. He goes quiet for a moment. I can hear a distant splash behind him. That hum, he says softly. It's still here. The water. It's like it's vibrating. Not shaking. Just alive. I ask him if he's safe on the roof. As safe as anyone is tonight, he says. There are 15 of us up here. We pooled food. One guy had a flare gun. Another had a hand crank radio. We walked to the edge and looked out over the city. The high-rises across the river. Some of them are dark. Others are flashing lights in these weird patterns, like they're trying to send signals we don't understand. He breathes out hard, like he's finally letting himself feel the fear. I don't know what sunrise looks like tomorrow, he says. I don't know if there's a sunrise tomorrow. Just, please tell people inland that this isn't normal flooding. Tell them it's coming from the drains, the streets, the wrong places. I tell him I will. I tell him to stay on the roof, stay above the water line, conserve batteries, keep everyone together. Daniel, he says quietly, if the water reaches us, we don't have anywhere else to go. I tell him I hear him. I tell him he's not alone, even if it feels like the whole ocean is climbing the city. Then the line crackles, a harsh metallic warble, and drops mid-breath. The board flickers. One light dies. Another returns. The system is running on fumes, or luck, or both. The clock now says 5:04 a.m. I lean closer to the mic, rubbing my eyes. I feel older than I did an hour ago. My heartbeat feels like static. If you're anywhere near Miami, anywhere near the Florida coast, do not trust the tide tables. Do not trust weather apps. Do not trust all clear messages. If you see water rising from where water is not supposed to come, drains, cracks, the base of street poles, get to higher ground. Not later. Now. This is not normal flooding. This is the grid drowning itself. I wish I had better words. I wish I had words that made things feel fixable. But all I have is the truth as you're giving it to me. The board is lighting again. Calls from everywhere. 702-615-919-208. People fighting to get one sentence through the noise. Before I take another call, I want to tell you what I'm feeling right now, because hiding it doesn't help anyone. I'm scared. I'm tired. And I miss the world we had yesterday. Even the boring parts. Even the stuff I used to complain about. Traffic, long lines, Wi-Fi dropping in the middle of a video. I would take any of it back in a heartbeat. But fear isn't the only thing in me right now. There's something else underneath it. Something small, but warm. It's the voices. Yours. Every time one of you gets through, it reminds me that the world isn't done yet. That people are still climbing roofs, still helping neighbors, still calling into a half-broken station, because hearing another human being matters more tonight than it ever has. I'm going to keep this going. As long as the tower stands. As long as the generator coughs back to life. As long as someone out there is listening. Line 3 is flashing. 702 area code. Nevada. You're on the air. I'm here. I'm here. My name's Aaron. He sounds young, early 20s maybe, but there's strain in his voice that shouldn't live in someone that age. I'm calling from outside Nashville, Antioch. I'm at the shelter in the middle school gym. I hear people murmuring behind him, low, restless, scared, soft, crying, a child hiccuping between sobs. I tell him I hear him. I ask what's happening. It wasn't supposed to be this, he says. We came here because the county said the power outages would rotate. They said it'd be safe here, warm, with backup generators. But the generators... He stops. Breath shakes. The generators don't stay on, he finally says. They run for maybe 10 minutes, then cut out like someone pulled a cord. The maintenance guys, 3 of them, they opened the panel to check the breakers, but the breakers weren't even tripped. The panel just slammed itself shut again. No wind, no hands. Just slammed shut like something inside didn't want them touching it. A woman somewhere behind him starts praying under her breath. And the lights? I ask. Wrong, he says. They flicker and sync. All of them. Fluorescents, emergency strips, exit signs. It's like the whole building's breathing. Every time they pulse, the PA system clicks on for half a second like it wants to speak. Then nothing. I feel a cold line run down my spine. How many people are there with you? I ask. I'd guess 100, he says. Families, elderly, some people in wheelchairs. They locked the front doors after someone outside tried to force their way in. Said their house went dark and their car started rolling backward down the driveway on its own. They said the emergency brake disengaged for no reason. Behind Aaron, someone yells, "It's flickering again!" His voice gets closer, like he's moving under the lights. It just did it, he says. The lights went white, bright white for a second, long enough for everybody to look up, and the PA system said something, just one word. I swear to God, it said something. My pulse thumps. What did it say? Reset. The word hangs in the air like a blade. Reset. I swallow hard. Aaron, are the doors still secure? They're locked, he says. But people keep checking. We put chairs in front of them. I'm sitting against the one that leads to the parking lot. It's cold through the metal. Too cold. Like the outside is leaking through it. His voice lowers to a whisper. And we can hear things. Outside. I ask him what kind of things. I can feel my own throat tighten. He shakes out a breath. Footsteps. Slow ones. Sometimes running. But when we look out, we don't see anything. One guy swore he saw shadows moving between the cars. Like the shadows were thicker than the cars. Someone behind him shouts, "Open the windows! Get some air!" Another voice screams, "Don't touch the lights." Chaos for a moment, echoing, bouncing around the gym walls. Aaron pulls the phone closer. I hear fabric brush his cheek. "Daniel," he says, "people are panicking. If the lights go out again, I don't know what happens in here." I take a breath, a slow one. "Aaron, listen to me," I say. "You're doing the right thing staying together. Keep people away from the windows, away from the PA system. If the generator cuts out, stay calm. Don't run. Don't push. Use phone flashlights only if you need to move, not all at once. One at a time. He nods, even though I can't see it. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell them. His breathing is shaking. He's gripping the phone too hard. I can hear his fingers on the plastic. There's one more thing, he says. I don't know if it matters. But when the lights pulse, phones turn on, even dead ones, even ones that haven't worked all day. What do they show? I ask. Just the lock screen. But the time is wrong. Different on every phone. Some show times that don't exist, like 26:41 or 0092. And then, very quietly, my phone showed a date. It said July 14th, 2039. The air in the studio seems to shrink around me. I ask him if anyone else saw that. Yeah, he says. 2 other people saw dates too. All in the future. All different. A metallic boom slams through his microphone, loud enough that I flinch. Dozens of people scream at once. "It's the back door!" he shouts. "Something hit it!" I hear chairs scraping, people scrambling backward. Another slam. Harder. Metal bending. "Aaron," I say, my own voice shaking now. "Don't open it. Get everyone back, against the far wall. Keep kids low and close. Stay away from the door." He's breathing fast, terrified. "I can't stay on the line," he says. "People need help. Someone's trying to brace the door and..." A deafening metallic screech floods the call, like something dragging a heavy object across steel. Children scream. The line crackles and cuts. Dead. I stare at the empty channel light, buzzing softly, like a dying firefly. There is a moment, a long one, when I don't speak. When the world on my side of the mic feels too quiet, too thin, like the silence after a dropped plate before you look down and see whether it's shattered. I press my palms against the desk and force breath into my lungs. Then I lean forward. To anyone in the Nashville area, I say, listen to me. If you're near Antioch Middle School, keep your distance from the gym. And if you are inside any shelter that's experiencing strange behavior from lights, PA systems, or generators, stay calm, stay together, and do not open any external doors unless you can verify who or what is outside. My voice shakes. I let it. The board lights flicker. More calls. More places breaking. My hands feel cold. My ribs buzz with the hum that seems to be everywhere tonight. But I am still here. My voice is still here. And you, if you can still hear me, are still here. Line 1 is blinking now. Area code 208. Idaho. We go again. Hello? Is this really live? A woman's voice, shaken, breathless, crackles through. My name's Valerie. I'm calling from Idaho Falls. I don't know how long this line will hold. I tell her I hear her. I ask her where she is exactly. I'm at the edge of town, she says. Near the river. The power just left. Not flickered, not sagged. It left like it got pulled out by a hand. She swallows hard. And the river? The river isn't behaving right. A cold weight settles into my stomach. Tell me what you mean. She breathes in, shaky, uneven, and I can hear wind whistling past her phone. It's moving upstream, she says. Not all of it. Just thin bands of water, like stripes, They're sliding against the rest of the flow, dark streaks moving the wrong way, like someone's dragging fingers backward over the top. I blink, hard. And the sound, she whispers. It's making this low, grinding noise, like the rocks under the river are shifting, not tumbling, sliding. What else? I ask softly. The lights on the dam, she says. The ones that line the walkway. They're blinking, but not in a pattern I know. Half the city thinks it's Morse code. The other half thinks it's some kind of warning system glitching. My neighbor swears it's the dam's sensors trying to send a message. Her voice cracks. I don't think they're wrong. I rub my forehead, the cold sweat beating there. Valerie, is the dam still stable? Do you hear any alarms? That's the thing, she says in a near whisper. The alarms tried to start. They started the uptone, just the first part, and then they died, like someone muted them mid-breath. The wind gets louder on her end, a hollow, eerie whistle. There are people gathered near the footpath, she continues, watching the water. No one wants to get close. They're standing 20, 30 feet back, just staring. I saw one man shine his flashlight at the water, and the beam bent. I swear it bent. It curved and hit a rock on the shore instead of the water surface. You're saying the light curved? I ask, trying to keep my voice steady. Yes, she says. And when he moved the flashlight, the river surface shimmered, like heat above asphalt. And then the flashlight turned itself off. He didn't touch it. Her breathing picks up. But that's not why I called, she says. There's something else, something farther upstream. I don't know what it is, but I can see it from here. A pause. Her breath fogs across her microphone. What do you see? I ask. It looks like fog, she says. But it's too low, too thick, and it's glowing, a dull blue like a TV screen when there's no channel, and every now and then it pulses, not outward, inward, like it's collapsing and reforming. Her voice drops to a whisper. And the trees near it, they're leaning toward it, not blowing, leaning. A full-body chill wraps around me. Valerie, I want you to listen very carefully, I say. Are you inside? Are you exposed? I'm just outside my front door, she says. Everyone's outside. No one wants to go back in. The houses don't feel safe right now. What do you mean? She exhales, defeated. The lights inside. They're flickering in time with people's footsteps, she says. When you walk across the living room, the bulbs brighten with each step. You stop walking, they dim. My neighbor walked in circles trying it, and every light in her house followed her like she was generating power. And when you step outside, I ask. They go dark, she says. All the lights go dark, like they're waiting for someone to step back in. The quiet between us grows heavy, too heavy. Valerie, I say carefully, I need you to go somewhere safe, somewhere away from the river, away from the fog, somewhere with people. There is nowhere, she whispers. Not tonight. Something, maybe a shriek, maybe metal twisting, crashes in the distance behind her. She gasps. What was that? I ask. The dam? She says breathlessly. Something just shifted. You can hear it groaning, like the bolts are stretching. Suddenly I hear shouting behind her. Multiple voices, running footsteps. People are backing away, she says. They're moving toward the main road. Someone yelled that the water level dropped on one side of the river for a second. Just for a second. like something sucked it down. Her voice turned sharp, terrified. "Daniel, something's wrong with the sky." My heart lurches. "What do you see?" "It's bending," she says. "The stars are bending, like someone's dragging a finger through them. And there's a long streak of light, white, thin, cutting across them. It wasn't there a minute ago." Her breath quickens. "It's getting wider." "Valerie," I say urgently, "get away from open sky if you can. Move toward any shelter, even a car. Don't stand under that streak." "I'm trying," she says, breathless. "I'm moving." A burst of static erupts through the line. "Daniel!" More static. Then her voice snaps back through. "Tell people. Don't go near the river. Don't look at the..." The call cuts. Dead. The board flickers. The studio lights shudder. The generator coughs once like it's choking. My throat feels tight. My chest heavier. If you're anywhere near the Idaho Falls stretch of the Snake River, avoid the water, avoid the fog, avoid anything glowing or pulsing, and don't trust lights that seem to follow your movements. There is a pattern to all of this, a wrongness threading through every report, a hum under everything. Lights syncing with natural forces they shouldn't understand. Water rising where it shouldn't. Shadows walking where there's no one casting them. Machines reacting to pulses no one can trace. The sky bending like it's part of the network. This isn't chaos. It isn't random. Something is reaching through the grid, the sky, the land, the water. Something that doesn't speak our language but understands our wiring. Something that is learning. I take a breath and grip the mic harder than I need to. "We're not done," I say softly. "Not yet. As long as your radios work, you're connected. As long as this tower stands, you're not alone." The board flashes again. Line 6. Area code 401. Rhode Island. You're on the air. A thin, quivering voice comes through before I even speak. "This is Claire. I'm in Warwick. I'm in my car. I don't know where else to go." Her breath fogs the microphone. I can hear it. A soft, frantic rhythm. "Claire," I say gently. "I'm here. Take your time. Tell me what's happening." "I can't stay at the house," she says. "The alarms won't stop. Every single one. Smoke detectors, CO detectors, even the security system we never use. They're screaming. The lights keep turning on and off in this slow heartbeat pattern. I tried to pull the batteries out of the smoke detectors, and they still beeped." She lets out a nervous sob. "And the basement door keeps unlocking itself." Cold crawls up my arms. "How do you know it's unlocking?" I ask, voice low. "Because the bolt slides open, loud, like someone pulling it with force. I locked it 3 times. I tied it shut, and then the whole doorframe rattled, like something wanted up." She sucks in a shaky breath. "My house is only 5 years old. It shouldn't sound like that. It shouldn't move like that." "Where are you now?" I ask. "In my car at the end of the street," she says. "I locked the doors. I'm parked under a dead streetlight. I figured if it's dead, it can't flicker at me." There's a tapping sound, light, rhythmic. I freeze. "Claire, is that you tapping?" "It's the windshield," she whispers. "I don't know what's..." 3 taps, then silence. It started when the lights in the house went bright, she says. Too bright. Like the bulbs were about to burst. Then everything died. Whole house just stopped breathing. And then the tapping, I say. She nods. I can hear her hair brushing her coat. Are there trees above you? I ask. Branches hitting the glass? No, she says firmly. I parked in the open, middle of the cul-de-sac. Tap, tap, tap. Something clicks loudly in my left headphone. Claire, I need you to listen carefully, I say. Look around, slowly. Tell me what you see. She hesitates. I don't want to look, she says. I feel like if I look, I'll see something I shouldn't. Tap. Claire, I say, steady, calm. You're not alone. I'm right here with you. Just turn your head a little. Tell me. A quiet breath. Fabric rustling. Okay, she whispers. I'm looking. A sharp inhale. Oh, God. My heart slams. What? What do you see? She's crying now, quiet, panicked. There's someone standing at my house, she says. On the porch. Someone? I ask. A person? I think so, but they're not moving, not even breathing, just standing under the porch light. They're wrong, like their outline is off. Off how? I ask. Their shadow, she whispers. It's stretching the wrong way, toward the light, like the light is pulling it in. Her voice breaks. And the porch light? It's flickering in that pattern. Same one as earlier, like a heartbeat. Cold floods my stomach. Claire, is the figure moving toward you? I ask, quiet, controlled. No, she says. Not yet. Tap, tap, tap. Is the tapping still happening? I ask. Yes, she says. But it's not on the windshield now. It's on the passenger side window. My breath catches. Do not look directly at it, I say quickly. Keep your eyes on the porch. Stay focused there. I can't stay here, she says. I need to drive, but I'm scared to start the car. What if the lights come on and it sees me? What if the headlights? Suddenly, a harsh metallic clank hits her audio. She screams. I nearly rip off my headphones. What happened? Claire, what happened? It hit the back of the car, she gasps. Something hit the trunk. Start the engine, I say. Now. Don't think. Just start it. She fumbles with the keys. I hear them clattering. Her breathing is wild. Then, the engine roars awake. She sobs with relief, then cuts herself off. What? I ask. What's wrong? The figure, she whispers. It just turned its head toward me. Drive, I say. Go. Now. Her tires squeal. Gravel spits. The engine revs, then stabilizes. Oh God, it's turning. Daniel, it's turning. Claire, look forward. Keep your hands steady. Stay on the road. I'm on Warwick Avenue, she pants. Lights are out everywhere. Street's empty. I don't see anything in the rear view. That's good, I say. Just keep moving. There's a gas station up ahead, she says. It looks normal. Dark, but normal. I think I'll stop there. There might be people. She slows. The engine hums steady. There's a truck here, she says. and someone inside. I see movement. Okay, I say gently. Pull up next to it. See if you can get help. She shifts into park. I hear her unbuckling. I open my mouth to tell her to stay in the car. Before I can, her voice turns thin, brittle. Daniel, the person in the truck. She swallows hard. They're sitting in the driver's seat, but the truck isn't running, and the dashboard lights are on. Okay, I say. Are they okay? Are they moving? No, she whispers. They're just staring straight ahead. Maybe they're in shock, I say. Tap on their window. I will. Her knuckles rap against glass. Nothing. She knocks harder. Still nothing. Daniel? She whispers. Yeah? The radio in their truck just turned on. I freeze. What is it playing? I ask. Static. And the person inside? They're still staring forward, she whispers, not blinking, just staring. A long silence. Daniel. Her voice trembles. Their mouth is open. My blood runs cold. Claire, I say, voice steady but tight. Get back in your car. Now. She moves. Fast. Door opens. Closes. Seatbelt clicks. Then she gasps. What now? I ask, bracing myself. The truck radio. She whispers. It's shifting. Shifting? It's not static anymore, she says. It's a voice. What kind of voice? Your voice. My heart stops for half a beat. What do you mean? I ask quietly. It's you, she says, voice raising. Daniel, it's your exact voice. The same one I'm hearing right now. Even your breathing. It's repeating what you said earlier, the part about not staring at the sky. I feel my own throat tighten. But Daniel, she whispers, trembling. It's saying things you didn't say, too. Every hair on my body stands up. What things, Claire? Things like, she swallows. Don't run. And open the door. And look behind you. Click. The line dies. I sit frozen. The studio walls feel too close. The air feels thin. My own voice echoes uncomfortably in my head, like it's bouncing somewhere it shouldn't. If you're in Rhode Island, lock your doors. Do not approach stalled vehicles. Do not trust any voice, even one that sounds like someone you know, if it comes from a machine. There is something out there that can mimic us, something that has learned how to use our signals. The board flashes again. One more call, somewhere far from here, somewhere just as dark. Area code 406, Montana. You got me? Is this real radio? The voice is gravelly, older, deep. A man. This is Tom. I'm calling from a ranch outside Billings. His tone carries something I haven't heard clearly tonight. Not panic, not confusion, but dread. Old dread. The kind people get when they've lived long enough to know what the world should sound like, and when something about tonight doesn't fit anything they've ever known. I'm here, Tom, I say. I hear you. What's going on? He takes a slow breath, like he's looking over his shoulder. Well, he says, I guess I'll start with the cows. That gets my attention. They won't go near the fence line, he says. And they're stubborn animals, but tonight they're acting like the whole north field is a cliff. They bunch up near the barn, pressing their bodies together. They're sweating, even in the cold. What are they reacting to? I ask. He lets out a humorless cough. What aren't they reacting to? He shifts, and I hear the muffled crunch of snow under a boot. There's something wrong with the north fence, he says. We've got a long stretch of metal wire running the whole property line up that way. Tonight it's humming. Not like electricity, more like music, but real low. Low enough you feel it more than you hear it. The hair rises on the back of my neck. Is the fence electrified? I ask. No, he says. Never has been. He draws in a tight breath. And there's light coming off it, he says. Not bright. Just a faint, faint glow. Like moonlight stuck on the wrong surface. Pale blue. Traveling along the wire like frost. Then disappearing. Then coming back. A noise cracks through the phone. A sudden, sharp pop, like wood snapping under stress. Tom mutters something under his breath. What was that? I ask. That, he says, is the east gate trying to close by itself again. My blood chills. Again? Yeah, he says. I've got a big steel gate leading to the road. Manual latch, heavy. Needs a real shove to move. Tonight, I found it swinging closed, slow. I opened it. It closed again. I jammed a concrete block in front of it. Took out 2 of my fingers practically. Didn't matter. The block slid on the ice like someone kicked it. I gripped the edge of my desk. Tom, I say, is anyone else on the property? No, he says, just me, and whatever's out there. He pauses. Wind whistles. Something metallic creaks far away. There's more, he says. I wait. My radio tower, he whispers. I've got an old CB tower out back. Haven't used it in 10 years. The rust is so thick it looks like bark. But tonight, the tower started turning. Turning? I repeat. He exhales sharply. Like a damn weather vane, he says. It rotated toward the north field, slowly, like something was pulling it. I watched it grind through its own bolts. The metal screamed. Then it pointed straight north and stopped dead. A long, low hum filters through his end of the line. You can barely hear it, but it vibrates like bees inside a wall. That sound you're hearing, he says, that's the fence. It's louder now. He moves again. Snow crunches louder. Heavy fog's rolling in, he mutters. Didn't call for any fog. It's coming from the north field, from the exact direction the tower's pointing. He clears his throat, voice unsteady now. And something's flickering in it. Describe it, I say, barely breathing. It's like headlights, he says, but wrong, too tall, too far apart, and they blink in sync with the fence hum. And there are shadows between them. Shadows, I ask. Not shapes, he says weakly. Just darker pieces of the dark, moving like they're walking uphill, but the land's flat. I feel the air tighten around me. Tom, I need you to go somewhere safe, I say. He lets out a single laugh, empty, hollow. Son, he says, ain't anywhere safe out here if the land itself is waking up. The hum grows louder through his phone. Deep, bone vibrating. Wrong. The cows are mooing, he says suddenly. All of them. Same pitch. like they're stuck on one note. I've never heard anything like that. Then, a violent snap. Metal whipping. Cows panicking. Fence just broke, he shouts. Something hit it. Hard. Wire flew 10 feet. I hear him running, snow spraying under his boots. He's breathing fast now. Tom, I say, get inside. Whatever it is, get inside. He swings open a door, slams it shut. The echo rings. Inside air hits the microphone. He's panting. Something's in the fog, he whispers. Coming closer. I can see the glow through the window. Pale blue, like the fence was wearing it. Are you safe? I ask. No, he breathes. But I'm inside. He swallows. The tower is bending. What? I snap. It's bending toward the house, he says, voice trembling, like it's bowing or listening. The hum grows louder. The windows rattle. Daniel, he whispers. Something is pushing on the front door. I feel my pulse climb into my throat. Tom, back away from the door. Find something heavy. Don't open it. He's already moving, his breath jerky and sharp. I've got my shotgun, he says, but I don't know if it'll do anything. The door's shaking. Something. A harsh, metallic screech tears through the line. The door's warping, he shouts. The metal's bending. A crash, glass exploding, wind roaring inside, something heavy slamming. Tom, I yell. Tom! For a moment, I hear only a dull, dragging sound. Something moving across a floor. Something not breathing like a person. Then, in a hoarse, distant whisper, don't let them touch the... And the line cuts. Silence. Complete, suffocating silence. Like the entire world stops to listen. I sit back, hands shaking so hard the mic stand trembles. Whatever is happening is no longer about power outages, no longer about flares, no longer about the grid. Something is using the grid, using the sky, using the land, using our machines, using our signals. Whatever broke into Tom's ranch, it didn't knock. It bent the world around him. If you are hearing this anywhere in Montana, stay inside. Stay away from fences, towers, windows. If you see blue light and fog, go the other way. If machines start facing north, you need to leave immediately. The board lights shiver. Another call is already blinking through the static. Area code 510, California. We go west. A voice bursts through before I even speak. Fast, shaky, terrified. Daniel? Daniel, are you there? Please, please tell me you can hear me. I hear you, I say. Go ahead. Who is this? My name is Renee, she says, voice trembling. I'm calling from Oakland, near Lake Merritt. The way she says near tells me she doesn't want to be near it at all. Renee, take a breath. What's going on out there? You're not going to believe it, she says. I barely believe it, and I'm looking right at it. I steady myself. Try me. She exhales in a thin, shaking line. Lake Merritt is glowing. A buzz spreads through my ribs, the same one I've felt before every horrifying detail tonight. What kind of glow? I ask. Green, she says. Not bright, not neon, just wrong. Pale green, swirling under the surface, like someone stirred paint into the water. And the ducks, God, the ducks. She chokes up for a second. They're moving in a circle. All of them. Perfect circle. Not flapping, not quacking. Just drifting in this slow loop like they're tied to something under the water. The hum in my headphones deepens. Not static. Not electronics. Something else. What else do you see? I ask. There are people out here, she whispers. Whole crowds, standing around the lake, staring, not talking. Some with their phones up, but the screens keep turning white. White with little flashes, like they're trying to take pictures, but the phone doesn't understand what it's seeing. Are you in your house? I ask quickly. Or outside? I'm outside. Her voice cracks with guilt. My apartment building lost power. My smoke detector was going off for no reason. My phone wouldn't stop vibrating with alerts that said completely different things. One said shelter in place. Another said evacuate. Another said return to sender. I don't even know what that means. She draws a shuddering breath. So I left. I shouldn't have, but everyone else left too. A distant sound reaches her microphone. A low, rhythmic cracking. Wet, like ice breaking, but with a pulse. Daniel, she says, voice shrinking. The water is rising. I sit forward. How fast? Not fast, just steady, like it's leveling up. That green glow, it's brighter now, and, oh God, her voice jumps. There's something moving under the surface, not fish, not birds, something big enough to push waves outward. I hear people around her gasping, a child crying, someone running. What direction is the movement coming from? I ask. It's coming from the center, she whispers. No. It's everywhere, like the whole lake is shifting. The cracking noise grows sharper, closer. It's hitting the rocks, she says, but the water isn't sloshing right. It's rising straight up the rocks, straight up, like it's climbing them instead of spilling over. A scream erupts behind her. Multiple screams. Running footsteps. Renee, what's happening? She's breathing fast now, terrified. There's a man, she says, standing on the walking path. The water is touching his shoes. He's not moving. Is he hurt? Daniel, he's leaning forward. Too far. Like he's bending toward the water, but his feet aren't stepping. He's hinging, like someone's pulling his chest. Ice floods my spine. Is someone pulling him? No, she stammers. No one's near him. The crowd screams louder. Oh God, she gasps. He just fell, straight in, like the water swallowed him. Renee, get away from the lake, now. I'm trying, she cries. The sidewalk is jammed. People are pushing. The lights around the lake, Daniel, they're all turning green. Every streetlight, every lamp. A harsh hum blasts through the call. Vibrating metal, vibrating glass, vibrating air. The water's spreading, she screams. It's coming over the path. It's moving uphill. Daniel, it's moving uphill. Run, I shout. Get uphill. Get away from the shoreline. A deafening splash wipes out her words. Then a chorus of screams, full throat and animal. Renee! Ren! Her voice snaps back in a panicked whisper. Something's under the bridge. Something's pushing its way. The call bursts into static. Shrieking, sharp, unnatural static. The line dies. The studio feels smaller, tighter, colder. I take a quiet breath, quiet only because my voice won't go any louder. To anyone near Lake Merritt, I say slowly, get away from the water. Move uphill. Do not approach any glowing areas. Do not approach street lights giving off green light. And do not, no matter what you hear, go near the bridges. I glance at the board. More blinking lights. More people trying to break through the dark. A whisper of something cold creeps down my spine, because the pattern is getting clearer. Too clear. Lights, hum, water rising in wrong directions. Shadows stretching toward brightness, machines mimicking voices, buildings pulsing, fences singing. The world is sinking to something that isn't human. The board flickers again. A new call. Area code 907. Alaska --. But not the woman from earlier. A different line. A different voice waiting in the dark. A man exhales into the line before he speaks. Slow, steady, but with a shake he's trying hard to hide. Daniel, this is Mark. I'm calling from Anchorage, out by Kincaid Park. His voice is older, rough around the edges like someone who's worked outdoors most of his life. I hear you, Mark, I say. What's going on up there? He pauses, then says almost apologetically, I'm watching the sky do something I don't think the sky is supposed to do. A chill runs up my arms. Tell me. He clears his throat. You know how the aurora dances? He says. Fast, slow, twists, bends. I've lived here 50 years, spent whole winters staring at that sky like it was a movie screen. But tonight, it's not dancing. What is it doing? I ask. It's holding still, he says. Completely still. Dead still. Like a photograph. It's draped across the sky like a curtain someone forgot to finish painting. The hum returns. Faint in his background, but unmistakable. And the colors, he adds quietly. They're wrong. Red where it should be blue. Blue where it should be green. And there's this band, thin white, cutting straight through it, like a seam. The word seam hits hard. Mark, I say, keeping my voice calm. Is the seam moving? No, he whispers. That's the part that scares me the most. I've been sitting in my truck watching it for half an hour. Not a twitch, not a ripple, not even a shimmer. Just this straight tear across the sky, like someone zipped the world open. A long, shaky breath. And the air, he adds, is humming. Your truck? I ask. Is it running? Engine's off, he says. Keys are in my pocket. Radio's off. Lights off. But the air itself? It's buzzing. Like the world is full of mosquitoes I can't see. Another breath. And the birds, he says. The ravens. They're all perched. On power lines. On roofs. On street signs. Sitting still. Staring at the same seam in the sky. Hundreds of them. Not making a sound. Ravens sitting silent in Alaska. That alone says everything. What else? I ask softly. It's the lights, he says. Street lights, house lights, dashboard lights, even the lanterns on people's porches. They're all pulsing. Slow, like a steady heartbeat. And every time they pulse, the seam in the sky flickers. Just a little, like it's reacting. I grip the mic tighter. Mark, is anyone else outside with you? Yeah, he says, voice flattening with dread. A lot of folks came out to look at the sky when the power cut. They're standing out on the trail, looking up, not talking, just staring, like they can't look away. I hear something, a muffled thunk on metal, like someone hitting Mark's truck from the outside. He freezes. "Did you hear that?" he whispers. "Mark," I say carefully, "is someone near your vehicle?" Slowly, he breathes out. "It's the Ravens," he says. "3 of them just landed on the hood. They're staring at me." "Staring?" "Yes," he says. Not moving. Heads tilted, like they're waiting for something. Another thunk. Another bird landing. "They're lining the roof now," he says. "I can feel their weight." My heart pounds. "Mark, can you drive? Can you leave safely?" He hesitates. "I don't know," he says. "I don't want to turn the truck on. The lights might flash. The birds, they might." He trails off. Then, the seam just widened. Adrenaline spikes in my chest. "How much?" "Just a little," he whispers. "Maybe an inch, but enough that the whole curtain of aurora is bending inward, like something behind it is pulling." The ravens clatter on the roof. He flinches. "They're tapping the windshield now," he says, voice cracking for the first time. All at once, same rhythm as the streetlights. Tap, tap, tap. "Mark, listen to me," I say. "Do not open the door. Keep your windows up." "They're not breaking the glass," he says, "just tapping, like they're echoing the hum." A low, vibrating tone spreads over the line, deep enough that my headphones buzz. "Daniel," he says, voice shrinking. It's getting louder. "What is?" "The hum," he says. "And the birds, Daniel, the birds are answering it. They're chirping in time with it. Not normal. Just one single note." He tries to whisper, but his voice cracks. "They're facing the seam." Another pulse shakes the audio. Lights near him flicker. "Mark," I say, "you need to leave. Now. Drive away from the seam. Away from the park." "I can't," he whispers. "I can't move." "Why?" "My hands," he says. "They're numb, like the air is vibrating through me." "Mark, dash, dash." "The ravens stopped tapping," he says. "They're all looking up now. Every single one." A long silence. Then, barely audible, "There's something behind the seam." Something cold crawls up my ribs. "What do you see?" I ask. "It's bright," he says. "White, like a spotlight behind thin cloth. It's pushing, trying to break through." A deafening crack detonates across his microphone. I flinch. "The seam opened!" he shouts. "The light, it's..." His voice is drowned out by a roar. Not wind, not thunder, not static, but something like all 3 at once. People screaming in the background, birds exploding upward in a frenzy. Then everything goes black. The line drops. Not static, not noise, just emptiness. I sit in the chair, breath tight, heart racing. Whatever is happening above Alaska, whatever pushed through that seam, it isn't staying there. "To anyone in Anchorage," I say, voice steady because it has to be, "get indoors. Stay away from open sky. If the aurora stops moving, if the sky forms a straight line, or if animals begin reacting in sync, take shelter immediately. Do not remain outside. The board lights up again. Another call trying to break through. Area code 303, Colorado. My throat feels tight, but I push forward. Hello? Is this station still alive? A man's voice, mid-40s maybe, tight with breath, but trying hard to stay composed. This is Ian. I'm calling from Denver. Southeast side, near the tech center. I'm here, Ian, I say. Go ahead. What are you seeing? He hesitates, just long enough to make my stomach drop. Denver's weird tonight, he says. Not broken the way the East Coast sounds. Not like the water reports. But wrong. Wrong in a way you can feel in your teeth. A gust hits his phone. Cold, high-altitude wind. Start from the beginning, I tell him. Okay, he says. Around midnight, the streetlights on Bellevue all switched from white to orange. Not amber, orange, the kind you see in old sodium lamps. Except these aren't that. They're LEDs. They shouldn't even have that color. I wait. They all did it at once, he adds. Miles of them. Then they dimmed. Then brightened. Dimmed again. Like they were pulsing. A tight breath. And when the lights pulsed, he says, the buildings did too. What do you mean the buildings pulsed? I mean the windows, he says. Every floor. Like someone turned room lights on and off in perfect sync. Top to bottom, every tower. Like the whole skyline was breathing. I shut my eyes for a second. What else? I ask. You ever see a city go quiet? He asks softly. Not empty, quiet. The way he says it makes my skin crawl. Describe it. No engines, he says. No heater fans. No humming transformers. You know that sound cities make? That low, endless rumble you tune out? Yeah, I whisper. It's gone, he says. It's just gone. It feels like a vacuum, like the whole city's holding a breath. I hear something hit his car, a light tap, then another. He stops talking. Ian, I say. He doesn't answer. Ian, what was that? Snow, he says finally, but not normal snow. My pulse jumps. How so? It's falling straight down, he says. Perfect straight. No wind. None. The flakes are drifting like they're suspended. Like they're choosing where to land. What's the temperature? I ask. That's the other part, he says. My dashboard says 34. The bank sign says 29. My phone says 42. And the actual air? He pauses. Feels like it's vibrating, like it's full of tiny wires. The hairs on my arms rise. There's more, he adds, voice tight. I'm listening. The tech center has this big cluster of office towers, he says. Lots of glass. Around 1 a.m., people started calling the fire department saying the windows were flashing. Flashing? Yeah, he says. But not randomly. Floors were lighting up in sequences, patterns, ripples going across windows like they were connected. Patterns again. What happened after that? I ask. That's when it got really messed up, he says, because a bunch of those office towers have those smart display boards, you know, rotating ads, stock tickers. Except tonight, they weren't showing ads. What were they showing? He hesitates. Code, he says. Lines and lines of white code scrolling on black. Fast. Too fast for a person to read. Looked like diagnostics or something. Some of the letters weren't even English. They looked wrong. What do you mean, wrong? I don't know, he says. Like symbols. Like things that shouldn't be on a billboard. And the code wasn't coming from the board system. They pulled the hardware hours ago. These things should have been dark. My breath catches. Are they still running? I ask. No, he says. They stopped. All at once. And right after they stopped, the buildings across the plaza all went dark too. What about people? Are there crowds? Yeah, he says softly. There's a whole group outside the Hyatt, maybe 50 people, just standing around trying to get bars on their phones. But the weird thing is, they're all facing the same direction. Every single one. Which direction? West, he says, toward the mountains. I feel a cold slide down my spine. Why west? I ask. That's what I wanted to know, he says. So I drove a bit closer. When I got near the Platte River Trail, people were pointing at the sky. What did they see? That's the thing, he whispers. I see it too. What do you see, Ian? The mountains, he says. They're glowing. I sit upright. Describe the glow. It's faint, he says, like someone drew a thin line of white fire along the ridge, and every few minutes it pulses, slow, like a heartbeat. Heartbeat again. Everywhere. Lights, machines, water, animals, signals. The world is sinking. Does the glow look natural? I ask. No, he says. It looks like backlighting, like there's something huge behind the mountains, lighting them from behind. What color? White, he says. Too white. And here's the part that's messing with my head. He takes a shaky breath. There's no source, no sun, no moon, no floodlights, nothing. The light just exists. He pauses. And when the glow pulses, the snow pulses too. Every flake in the air brightens at the same time. I feel sick. What are people doing now? I ask. They're backing away, he says. Some slowly, some crying, some just staring. But, Daniel, people who stand too close to the guardrails along the trail? What about them? They lean forward, he says. Not like they're falling. Like something's pulling their attention west. Are they safe? I ask. I don't know, he says. Some of them look like they're hypnotized, like they're listening to something I can't hear. I hear a sharp electronic beep through his phone, then another, then several overlapping tones. What's that noise? I ask. He swallows audibly. That's every traffic light in view, he says, switching to green, every single one. Is there traffic? No, he says. Not a single car is moving. So why are the lights switching? They're pointing west, he whispers. They're all turning green in the direction of the mountains. My heart slams in my chest. Do not drive west, I say. Do you hear me, Ian? Do not go toward that glow. I'm not, he says. I'm still in my car. I'm backed up by the post office. Good, I say. Stay put. Stay with crowds. Stay indoors if you can. There's something else, he says quietly. I brace myself. I'm looking at the skyline right now, he says. And the windows in the office towers, they're lighting up again. What pattern? It's not a pattern, he says. It's numbers. What kind of numbers? They're counting, he whispers, descending. My blood turns cold. From what number? 70, he says. Now 69. Now 68. Ian, I say urgently. Leave, right now. Get anywhere but there. Do not wait to see what happens at 0. He starts breathing faster. I hear his keys. His engine fires. He begins to drive. The windows are speeding up, he says, counting faster. 63, 62, 60. Ian, go. 50, he gasps. 48, 46. His tires screech. He accelerates. Wind blasts through the mic. 40, he says. 30. Daniel, it's skipping numbers. 22, 19, 12. Daniel, it's... A blistering crack of static slices the call apart. Then, silence. The board flickers violently, like the system itself is flinching. I swallow hard, my hands shaking uncontrollably. To anyone in Denver, I say, stay away from the western ridge. Stay indoors. Stay off the roads pointing west. If building lights begin showing patterns, especially countdowns, leave the area immediately. The board is lighting again. Dozens of calls. Voices fighting to break through. My throat feels tight. My pulse is racing, but I'm still here. As long as this tower holds, I'm still here. Area code 318, Louisiana. You're on the air.